Good afternoon, everyone. So, welcome back to CreativeEdge, a subsidies of Top Ranker. My name is Rajendra Bhatia, and today we talk something about creative abilities. And in today's presentation, I'm going to show you some of very well designed questions or solution of the questions of creative. So, friends, Masterclass of NATA and JEE B.Arch of drawing by me, Rajendra Bhatia. I want to show you something very interesting. What can you cite here? क्या दिख रहा है आपको? There is a cuboid which has got a pit into it, and into the pit there is a cube-like structure balancing on its vertices. So such type of a sketch is demanded in a question where they say you have to have a three-dimension sculpture done, and it demands of two things very important. One, your sketching ability with perspective. Of course, understanding of the structure is one part of it. The second part of it is the sciography. So here is a classical example where this product, that is the cube, has been designed with a 3-point perspective. Whereas this one, can you guess it? This one is just 1-point perspective. To make you understand, here is a sketch. A 1-point perspective is done when a flat surface of the object is parallel to the picture plane. Whereas a 2-point perspective, which is not there in this cube and cuboid, but 2-point perspective, when the flat surface of object is making a different angle than right angle to the picture plane. One may ask, what is picture plane? An imaginary plane in front of eyes, which is transparent and is right angle to the mean line of vision. So if that flat surface, that means when you're looking in straight, it is like this. When you're looking up, it's like this. That right angle to the mean line of vision is always maintained. So now the picture plane is forming an angle to the ground. So in 1 and 2-point perspective of any object or even any scene wherein one person is like standing like this at the flat surface. Now there's no flat surface in body, but then what? You imagine a box around your body and then try to assess as to where the figure is standing or sitting. So you are imagining a box here, and if I'm turning like this is going to be represented in 1-point perspective. When I turn like this, the flat surface of that box is forming a different angle than the right angle. It will lead to 2-point perspective. Okay. In both the cases of 1 point and 2 point perspective, both the picture plane and the object are right angled to the ground. That means they are upright. However, in case of 3 point perspective, either the picture plane, as I showed you, like this, or like this. So either the picture plane is forming a different angle than the right angle to the ground, or the object flat surface is forming a different angle than the right angle to the ground. These two conditions, it will be 3 point perspective. A 3D composition. Here is a composition where you see three cuboids and a prism. And guess what? The down below cuboids are transparent. This is opaque. I have brought in this example particularly to make you understand the sciography. Sciography is the science of mainly the shadow. However, its a complete meaning is the science of light, shade, and shadow. Interestingly, this is transparent, and this is opaque. This again is transparent. So how the shadow would form? Second aspect of this sketch, an interesting one, is that this has been done in 2 point perspective, two vanishing points. In one of this, maybe we can take this only as to how I constructed it. That will give you a very good idea of how do we actually do such kind of a sketch, right? I'm using a smart board. So shade and shadow will be difficult to carry on, but let me give you the concept. Everything in 1, 2 point, 3 point perspective starts with a horizon. So let's see that this is our paper. I have created a horizon. Let's say that this is our line of station. Wherever they intersect is the vanishing point. Now, drawing one of the cuboid for your interest, let's take that vertical line of the box. Let's take vanishing point since it is done in 2-point perspective on two sides of the line, that is the horizon. Why is this done? There are two things. One, that the object is upright on ground. Second, that so the cuboid is done. Are you getting me? Now this is what is typically 2-point perspective. And then of course, in the other sketch that you saw, I have done two cuboids parallel to each other. So it becomes even easier for drawing that. Since they are parallel to each other, the vanishing point remains same. So these lines work like this and this and this. Right, friends? So two cuboids up here. Then there was a cuboid which I showed as an opaque cuboid. On top of this, more near the horizon, less is the deviation. So this is the opaque one on top of the two transparent. And then when we take a light source, we will be taking the shadow of it. And that's what has been done in that sketch here. Right? So I have tried giving you on my overlapping sheet, which I turned black for your understanding purpose, a little glimpse of how this sketch was done and what technical aspect one must learn while doing such sketches. We go to the next sample of a memory drawing. What is the take of such sketch? Now the question here, you are traveling in a local public transport bus. You are seated on front seat behind the driver facing towards people in bus. Behind the driver, facing towards people in the bus. Right? As you can see now here, what I was explaining that, this indeed is a 1-point perspective. Your thigh or lap is seen here. So your vanishing point is somewhere parallel to this guy, somewhere around here. To find out where actually I have done it is here is your vanishing point. I mean, you join any, or sorry, extend any two parallel line, you will find your vanishing point. So your level is equivalent to these three people, eye level. Eye level is same as horizon. Okay, so you can um, understand now. You this kind of a sketch, if asked, involves a lot of knowledge about human figure. I'm sure you may be wondering as to how to work out a sitting human figure. Let us try it out. This guy. Again, I take a blank sheet, blank screen, and work out. So we were seeing a human figure who is sitting. For that matter, one should know what is the division from head to toe, or what are the landmarks from head to toe. Let me show you some of interesting one. Say this is your seat or the buttocks. Above the buttock, you have groin and head to chin, chin to epigastrium, navel, groin, buttocks. This is head and chin. So here you can find out, yes, you have got a little skeleton done or the stick figure done from buttocks, or that is the thickness of the thigh because groin is here. There's a little foreshortening, and you have got from groin to the knee, or from above the groin to the knee is 1.5. From groin to knee, including the thickness of the knee, it is exactly 2 heads. And then, of course, that is one of the foot. The other one is like this, similar division, and this is it. How to draw that head turning towards the window? Firstly, divide it into two and then into four parts, and 3/4 would be the circle, then a tangent here, and this would be ear, nose, eyebrow, head, eye, neck. Between epigastrium and chin would be the shoulder line. How big will be the shoulder of a man? Will be like this. Of course, we will overlay it with the clothing. So simple is method if you know the anatomy very well. And as I told you in my explanation of the sketch, this one question, this one question would require a lot of human figures in different um, style and different poses. So one should learn a lot of details of the human figure um, and figure in action kind of things. This is what we did. Of course, I made it like this one because I was seeing it from front. But any which ways we can always make it on one side. The legs I made were something similar to this. The body I made was similar to this. Likewise, even a female grown-up figure is 7.5 head seen from front. So you divide the things into 8 heads. This is middle. Up you have head to chin to epigastrium to the navel, and this would be groin, and not this, not this. And then 1.5 head knee, 1.5 head ankle, and this is slightly bigger than the leg, but in perspective, only the front is seen. Then the hand is going up to this from armpit is one head, from the elbow to the wrist is again one head, and from wrist to the middle finger. So that means turning this is also one head, but you can only see this much, which is equivalent to slightly or shy bigger than half. Same way, you could have done the human figures here. At the back, only little vague working. Why is this guy seen little smaller than this? Because now this is the same height steel pipe on which you have got hangers where you can hanging holders where you can hold yourself tucked to the moving bus. Why is this guy seen shorter than this lady? It's just because of the fact that you are sitting, so your vanishing point is down below. Maybe he's slightly taller than her, but in the perspective, this guy is seen a little down below the front lady. So those are the technical aspect of perspective, which you can come back to me and learn in detail in my upcoming master course that I will be um, revealing to you at the end of this lecture. I'm sure you remember some of the um, details of the syllabus that I gave you the other day. I started this series of classes. So the question, this one and this one, that is 3D composition. Now this is typical of JEE B.Arch with a sciography. This is also JEE B.Arch typical. However, this one is definitely a common feature both for JEE B.Arch and NATA. That means the memory drawing. Okay, so you can learn this very well but in detail with me. There is a mentioning in syllabus of NATA that sketching and composition and color, both equivalent marks, 25, 25. Now, to be honest with you, composition and coloring maybe a 2D or two-dimension sketching and coloring, flat. However, since NATA is restarting sketching into it, there may be a little difference in their earlier days asking and what they are going to ask in 2024, starting from 6th April. So they may ask you to have a composition colored, but I repeat saying that I expect composition and color in 2D design. However, what I'm displaying to you is a memory drawing which I have colored. Fast coloring done with plastic crayons, not the wax crayons. So the question is, depict a temple and people praying the idol in the temple. This could be the question. Again, demanding of very good sketching ability. Now that's the stick figure I have worked out for you with my little red ink. Now that's in hypothetically at the back of this stone. So the full length divided into two parts, that gives you the marking of groin, that gives middle of it gives you the marking of epigastrium. Epigastrium is a little sophisticated word I use in place of the nipple line. In art books, it is mentioned as nipple line. Okay, just the center of that is a portion biologically called as epigastrium. Okay, and then between head, that is top of the head, and epigastrium is the chin. So one head, and between epigastrium and groin, navel. How do you like it? Like now you can see the division, head to chin, exactly at that. What I have done, again, what I explained you with that sitting guy. Okay, so this is it. There is a typical length here, top of the shoulder to the, non-biologically I call it as elbow pit, right? So between top of the shoulder to the elbow pit is 1.5 head, and from elbow pit to the wrist is 1 head, from wrist to the middle finger is also 1 head size. So that you can notice here also. When we go for a side profile, remember the shoulder, if you see me from side, starts from behind the ear. And that's what I have done here. So very proportionate, that means within the body itself, head to um, navel, 3 head, navel to groin, 1 head, um, chin to epigastrium, 1 head. So that is the proportion. And scale is, if he gets a, maybe he will be slightly taller than this lady here. Count it out and you will find that. That many details you should know, not only for knowledge sake, also for implementing. That is very important. To implement your knowledge in your given question and in your answer is what is required. Okay? I do apply law of third to solve my all the questions that you must have realized. Here it is my focal point. This indeed is part of subject, but this lady becomes more visible to the viewer because she is very near to the golden focal point. In fact, the focal point would be here. So these are the things you learn when you come back to CreativeEdge and do your subject thoroughly mastered in the master class for NATA and JEE B.Arch 2024. The drawing section, that is what I'm talking about. My friend Jitendra sir must have been talking about aptitude on the alternate day, and a little AAT will be covered separately by one of the architect. AAT is architecture awareness test, which indeed is part of aptitude. Very few people know that the aptitude is not the general aptitude. एक मैनेजमेंट के एप्टीट्यूड पढ़ाने वाला डिजाइन एप्टीट्यूड नहीं पढ़ा सकता फॉर श्योर। और वैसे ही मैनेजमेंट के एप्टीट्यूड की बुक अगर आप रेफर कर रहे हो तो वो काम की नहीं है। डिजाइन एप्टीट्यूड इज डिफरेंट एंड इन particularly JEE-P.Arch and NATA, you have to remember one thing. AAT is your aptitude. I mean, largely the aptitude comprises of architecture awareness, about architects, about architectural monuments, kind of things. So we in CreativeEdge will be solving those comparatively difficult aspects, simplifying them for you all once you come back to us. So friends, these were some of the sample sketches that I wanted to show you. I have also given the insight of how I developed them. I'm sure you have liked it. However, for any further inquiry, 7676 7676564400. There's a number. You can give me a message. You can send me a question. However, you can also enroll for Target 2024, the master classes. Batch starts 11th March 2024. I have started getting questions, some of the words that only we in CreativeEdge use. I mean, some of the technical words, and the question that I get from Sanjay Bashir, what is psiography? As I told you, psiography is a science dealing in mainly the shadows, casting of shadows. However, the full word means it is a science of light, shades, and shadow. That's what you do, particularly in that 3D composition which is not only part of JEE B.Arch, is also part of NATA. You're going to get a question on this. Okay? In JEE B.Arch, sometimes the 3D object drawing get replaced with that, enlargement of a given figure or making of a portrait. However, xylography remain a part of it all the time. Ranjita asking, do playlist for B.Arch, not relevant for today. Is drawing basics are available on our profile. Mitesh, drawing basics available on our, that means is it CreativeEdge person asking me? Basics are taught here. Basics are not a part of the website. If I can understand, you're asking about profile, that means the the net profile of or the website of top rankers. No, this is taught here, and you should. I mean, you will be able to do any. I tell you, a memory drawing or 3D composition or even 2D composition with coloring once you learn basics with CreativeEdge, and that shall be covered in this master classes starting from 11th March. Architecture crash course, NATA and JEE B.Arch. So you can enroll yourself as fast as you can. For your confidence, you will be given every details right from basics till practicing, as well as some of the mock tests done, some of our reviews done on the mock test. Right, friends? So thank you very much for joining me in this small but a little comprehensive understanding of the subject for JEE B.Arch and NATA. And see you soon for in the crash course that we have already announced. Register yourself as fast as you want or as fast as you can.